Welcome back, everybody, to the 2023 Derby City Classic. This is the one pocket division. This is round 5. And as you see on your screen, we have Vann Corteza and Mieszko Fortunski. Both players have a loss, so somebody will be eliminated from this tournament. I am your host, Scott Frost, aka The Freezer, and I'm excited to bring this match to you guys. So let's enjoy. Vann wins the lag, and I say this every time, in a race to 3, when you win the lag, you're a heavy favorite, especially if it goes hill-hill. You're breaking, which is very, very powerful. We are playing on 4 1/4 inch pockets. Let me go by some rules really quick. Each player's got a designated pocket. 8 of any balls into your pocket wins the game. Any foul will cost you a ball. Alternate the break. A ball on the break is a re-rack. 3 foul rule is in effect. And we are not using jump cues. Boy, he got a lot out of that cue ball. I immediately noticed the 2 and 14. Look at the 5 high. The 13 is low. This poses big problems for Mieszko out of the gate, but boy, let me tell you about Mieszko. He is a powerhouse, full of talent, a left-handed gunslinger. So immediately, is he looking at the 10 off the 3? And he is looking at the 10 off of the 3. The only concern I have there, well, there's a lot of concerns, but that tells you how good Vann broke the balls. This is the only angle I have to work with. Hopefully next year it will be better, but it's better than nothing, and I'm excited to be here. The only concern, getting back to that, is the cue ball, right? Is the cue ball going to catch the 9 and shoot towards the corner? It always seems to find a hole. Or does the 2 have that path blocked? This is how good Vann broke these balls. He could definitely take a foul, I believe. There's a gap between the 10 and 9. He could take a 1-rail, 2-rail foul behind the 14, which isn't terrible, but Vann's going to go to the 12 and just put him up table. I can't fault him for shooting this. And you rarely see Mieszko mishit a ball. Maybe the shot isn't on, but he's got such a pure delivery, and it's a joy to watch him play. Probably one of my favorite players to just watch strike the ball. Vann Corteza, a world-class player. Well, he's played this great. He's a world-class straight pool player, and he's gotten quite unfortunate to come around everything. I think he was trying to come into the back of the 14. So he was out of trouble and back in big trouble. Just going to take a look at the 6, 8, 9. I think the 9 is going low. Can he even get to it? He's very aggressive. He doesn't know the game at the highest level, but he does know it enough. He's been playing here at the Derby for many years now. I had the opportunity to play him in the 1 pocket, and he was scary. I did get there, but he was scary. I don't think the 9 plays. I think it's a little low. Soft kick to the 14. Does he cover the 13? He's done really pretty good there for what he had. So he lives to fight another day. Came out with a great carom. Let's talk about Vann Corteza. What a talent. Seems to get deep in all events. Probably one of the more underrated Filipinos when it comes to big names. He's always in the mix. He's always in the money. And he just doesn't get mentioned as much as some of the other names. But I think his ability is every bit as good. Trying to look at some options here. He could go rail first on the 3 and put Mieszko up on the side rail, covering the 5, but I don't think that's real effective. Is he going to use a power shot here? Can he play that stripe nearest the 13 off the bottom of the pile? The only concern there is how do you remove the cue ball? Where is it going? The 3 is just a fraction too close to the rail to not short bank it to your side. You can bank that 3 to your side if it's up just a fraction. Not play to make it, but you can move the cue ball out of the way and get it over. Kind of a two-way shot. Yeah, these have ended up quite awkward. Can he see enough of the 13 to go off the bottom of the balls? This angle tells me he cannot. Is he going to try and put him behind the balls? That's what he's going to do. He needs it to slow down. That's going to be a problem. That 5 was a really, really important ball for Vann. Mieszko is going to take advantage here. I don't know that it banks clean. He's still looking at that 9. Maybe it's closer than I think. He's obviously at the table. I'm slightly handcuffed. Is he looking to play the 15 into the 6 and go into the 2? I feel like the 9 might be going a fraction low. Boy, you really have an opportunity to change the position of the game. If you're not certain this goes, you want to make sure that you can take control of the game. He must feel very confident. If he's going to shoot it, he's got the extension on. Yeah, this is very haphazard. You really had, here's the problem with that. You had to hit it so thin and with a lot of speed, a ton of speed. In order to get that 9 to the hole, the angle just didn't seem natural by any means. This is a big opportunity for Vann. How he decides to run these balls is on him. You could almost come to the 9 now, kind of run into the 13. It's a little risky because if you overdraw it, you could end up behind the 2 or double up behind the 13. Could just come up for the 4 or the 5. Yeah, he chose to come all the way around. The angle laid real nice. He's going to get the maximum out of this. Each player has a ball. First player to 8 wins the game. And Mieszko comes with a real nice carom and kind of hands it right back to Vann. And I know he'll take advantage. He's coming all the way up. He didn't look to see if this ball went. I was a little surprised he didn't just stop there to play the 5 next. This must be tight. But if it doesn't go, that's a very big error. And in a race to 3, you have no room for error. Well, I guess the 11 went without a problem. He's looking to see if the 12 went. Excuse me. And I believe the 12 goes as well. Vann playing for 5, and I see 3 to 5 of them available. If he can get a good angle on the 9 with the 4, he's in real good condition. Okay, he's going to the 5 ball here. Tells me the 12 is tight. You really don't want to take a chance if it's that tight, but the angle's pretty flat on the 5. If he can get this down, and he's done nice. He's utilized the outside of the pocket that direction. We are playing on 4.5 pockets, as I mentioned. 4.25-inch pockets, excuse me. And they do play pretty tight, even though it's got new cloth. That's the angle he wants on the 9. Is he looking to see if he can get that way now, or do you just go into the 1 and 6, or can you stun out a little bit and take an angle on the 4? Okay, I like it. You can't go wrong there, and he definitely has a punch angle to go to the 9. It's up to him whether he wants to go one rail or 2 rails towards the 13. He's playing for 3. Well, he could get stuck, and he has gotten stuck, so this is another big opportunity. Mieszko far from out of this ball game, especially with the way these balls lay. I think Lee Vann's got a 2-railer on the 2, and he can stick him right back where he is, or somewhere close to that. Yeah, I think if you're going to play the ball the way he did, you want to come tight into the 2-rail angle. He hit it a little full, punching down a little firm. So almost a stop shot here. Just a pinch draw. But the problem is he's got to hit it with a little speed. So to control that cue ball makes it a little more difficult. He's just making sure. I wonder if he's concerned about the 15. Mieszko finding a way to straight back the 15 in. If he gets a shot, he will run the balls. Okay, he went into the 13. I think I would have considered just really protecting the cue ball, but he's done good. I immediately see a 2-rail kick behind the 2. You can swing the cue ball upstairs. Not a lot can go wrong. Kicking 2 rails behind it. I don't think he's got the angle. I think this is what he's going to play. He's decided to just tick you off. Quite a passive shot. Trailing 6 balls to 1. I know Lee Vann likes that. He's going to take his time and find the right play here. I think he could shoot through the 9 with like a stun and move the 13, 9, maybe even the 8 up table. Use the 7, 6, 1 as blockers on the 2. Send the cue ball forward just below the 15. Somewhere in that area. If he wanted to, he could just squeeze even better. He could play the 9 into the 13 and just suck the cue ball over towards the 7. Just make sure you've got blockage on the 2. This is exactly what I was talking about. He's done well. 13's out of play now. The 8 plays for Corteza. And I think Mieszko made a mistake there. I think he should have taken a look at 2-rail kicking behind the 2, applying more pressure on Lee Vann. Mieszko just playing the simple play there, coming off the ball. He missed an opportunity, I believe, to continue to apply some type of pressure, especially being behind in the game by 5 balls. You've got to keep the heat on your opponent when you get the opportunity. There was only 1 ball threatening Corteza's side, and that was the 2. I think he could have 2-rail kicked behind it. If he catches it full, he's okay. If he catches it thin, he's perfect. But that shot is over. Does Corteza take a chance and play the 1 off of the 6? These guys are aggressive. You could clip off of the 1, sending the 6 a little bit up table and just bring the cue ball down towards the center diamond. Yeah, I don't think it's the right time to play the 1 off of the 6, that's for sure. I'm pretty surprised at this. I thought he could just clip, well, he could have just clipped off the bottom of the 1 with the left and come back down towards the center diamond on the bottom rail. This is going to give Mieszko a big opportunity. He's got to knock this down. And that's that pure stroke. I don't think the 1 plays, but it's better than nothing. The angle didn't present itself to get the cue ball up much better than that. He used all of the pocket. I don't have a problem Mieszko taking a look at the 13 here. If you can stun it with a little bit of speed and play this cue ball towards that chalk right there on the top rail, I think he can stun it. This way you're putting pressure on Corteza. Corteza can back cut the 8, but mind you, Corteza only needs 2. He doesn't want to take too many chances. Whereas Fortunski's behind in the game, so I feel like he needs to be the aggressor. He played it straight into the hole. What a hit. What a hit. Notice the cue ball. So he just went all out on that shot. I don't think he was playing defense in any way, shape, or form there. Everything plays except the 1 and 6. Question is, does he go to the 15 now? I don't know the 7 passes the 9. So he would be forced to go to the 15. This is the tough shot. Yeah. I'm surprised he went forward as well. I really am, because he's a great rotation player and those guys are so used to that shot. They get the most out of it. Corteza with an opportunity to win game number 1 here if he can knock this bank down. Does have to control the cue ball. He's a little concerned about leaving a return bank. Much more difficult to make that ball with a high force follow with inside English for Fortunski, so I was a little bit surprised at that. Gonna try and come in behind the 9 here, or into the back of it. Yes, he is. He's played it short. Okay. We've got action, folks. Fortunski's got a bank on the 1. And it does carry position. And he is playing for 5, and they are all right there. Is the angle steeper than I think it is? I feel like he can roll it with a left English, throwing the one down just a little bit. Oh, yeah, he's throwing it down too much. And this is going to be trouble, depending on what Corteza decides. But he only needs 2. Does he gamble now, banking the 8 into the 15? Or does he soft kick behind the 1? I don't think that you can cross this one. I think the kiss is in play. So you've got really 2 options here. I think you can either yeah, I don't think you can miss that kiss. And if you do miss the kiss, where does the cue ball go? Note the 15 is not frozen, so it's a pretty big ball. You need 2. If you bank the 8 at the 15 and you hang the 15 up and the 8 stays right there somewhere, you're probably not going to lose the game. If you bank the 8 at the 15 and the 15 goes, you win the game. So you play your percentages, right? Or do you soft kick at the 1, sending it up just a hair and leaving him parallel with the 15? Will leave Mieszko in a bit of trouble. He's trying to talk himself into thinking he can miss this kiss, but there's a couple other issues with that. The cue ball is going to come out towards the 9. Because he's got to put so much left-hand spin on it. You can't miss this kiss using inside English. I don't believe you can miss the kiss, obviously, regardless. Is he checking the ball count? Now is he going to the soft kick? I do think Corteza has a little more experience than Fortunski playing the game. I'm pretty certain he does. I don't think the 15 is the shot. Whether he makes it or not, I don't think it's the shot. Let's see how he does. My thought process there is you risk the game to get 1. I didn't think he could gain any position there. He's done good there, though. And Corteza playing for 1. Fortunski needs them all. So I guess you can't fault Corteza for shooting the 15 if he feels like he can make it. I just not a huge fan of taking a chance on losing the game or getting 1. Typically at any point, I'm not a big fan of that. Fortunski pushing them up table when he needs them all. Typically not going to see guys do that too often. He has done well with the cue ball. Is Lee Vann considering banking this 8? Boy, he's going at the 8. He needs 1. There are options. You can dig into the cue ball, play the 9 into the 6, send him up table, draw the cue ball 1, 2 down to the bottom rail. And that's what he's going to do. Even if you have to play the 9 to the 7, just dig to the cue ball. Oh, he's missed. Oh, he's fortunate he's caught the 1. with the 9. Now, if I'm a Mieszko here, I'm definitely going to look at something aggressive to where you're kind of leaving leave-in a little bit on the 50-yard line. I don't know if you can bank the 8 below the 9 long rail and play the cue ball up here left of the top center diamond or above the top center diamond, kind of leaving him a back cut on the 1 or a back cut on the 7. But the great thing about the shot would be that the 8 would be close to Mieszko's pocket. He's got coverage with the 6, 7, and 9. I don't think the 8's makeable, but can you play it to your pocket somehow with a decent cue ball? He's going to look at banking the 6. And he's caught the point, and he's caught the kiss. And I think it's going to cost him game number 1. Yeah, and Vann Corteza knocks it down without any issues. He takes game number 1. Yeah, and this video is brought to you in cooperation with Bad Boys Billiard Productions, Hustling Clothing USA, JB Custom Cases, and Olivier Custom Cues. Last but not least, Littman Lights. Thank you so much for your cooperation, guys. Mieszko going to waste no time. He is a quick player to break. He's caught the corner ball. Good and bad news. The good news is he's kind of jammed Vann up. I don't know that he can see enough of the 8. And I don't feel like he can really get to the 10. If he can, there's not a big future. Meaning I don't see a lot of position options. And he's bridging over it quite well, but boy, this tells me he can't see much of the 8 or enough of the 8. The 6 is impeding that path to like play the 8-2 rails towards the 10. Can he come off the bottom of the 13, opening the 13 up to your side and just playing the cue ball below the 10? Something simple. Is that available? It definitely looks available. And you would definitely have to play the cue ball below the 10. Watch your speed. You don't want to give Fortunski a bank on the 10. Not terrible. I think Fortunski is going to take a look at the 13, and that's what he's doing. I might want to look at the 10 off the 1 and a couple other options, but he's going to go straight to the 13. Yeah, it looks really nice. Is it short? Just short of the mark. I don't believe the 2 plays. I think the 2 goes low and into the rail. What does Vann have? He could kick into the back of the 13 softly. Maybe try to wedge up the 15 and 13. I'm at a disadvantage here, guys. I'm commentating 2 rotation players playing 1 pocket. in a race to 3. So, humor me. And that's kind of an example there. That's a great shot, but you've got to be at the table to know what the balls are doing in that shot. Fortunski can clip off of this 15. He could chip off the edge of the 15 and play the cue ball up between the 7 and 10 over there onto the side rail. He's got a lot of protection, a lot of coverage. And this is what he's done. This is great. There's nothing wrong with this. Sometimes the obvious isn't so obvious, right? What about just rolling on the 5? Of course, the 14 is probably the obvious ball, right? You want to bank the 14 to your side and just lay him over here on this rail. Look at some other options. I'm not a huge fan of that shot. I think Fortunski's going to just bank at the 5. You're not banking to make it. Kind of like what I was talking about earlier on the 3. Just cut the 5, right? Cut the 5 towards the 12 and 15, one rail. Can he see the 4? Can you 2-rail the 4? With the 14, I guess. Tough to hold the cue ball there, though. You can also come off the bottom of the 15 and just go between the 7 and 10 again. Just clip the 15 with a bunch of inside spin. Creep up there behind the 7 and 10, up to the rail. I don't know if you need to elevate here. He's going to play the 3-railer. Watch the kiss. Yeah, he's not familiar with the kisses that are in play here. I can't fault him. He doesn't play the game a lot. He's deadly when he gets a shot, though, I can tell you that. I think you've got to shoot the 15 here. Excuse me, the 14 into the 15 here, or you can go forward, maybe playing the 14 between the 12 and 15. Just kind of laying it up on your side. It's all player preference, and it also depends on the angle he has. But it looks like it lays pretty good to kind of drift the 14 over to your side. Float the cue ball down behind the 15. He's going to hit this with speed, I think. Yeah. Did good with the cue ball. Opened a bunch up on his side. So this is going to turn out real good for Corteza. And come off the bottom of the 3. That is an immediate escape that I see. Do you take a foul? No, I would not take a foul. I think he can come off the bottom of the 3 here and just float over to the rail. You're going to leave the 5. You know that. You know, it's kind of a matter of, are you going to leave the 5 or are you going to leave the 4? And I think I'd have rather left the 5. I think Vann can do a little more damage from here versus that rail. I know Fortunski wanted to get the 3 over to his side, so I understand his thought process there. Is he playing this into the balls? Okay, he's trying to put him under the 15. He's done fairly well. like to have glued him, but he's got Fortunski cut off from just about everything. Can he two-rail the 11 towards the 5 and just play the cue ball here? He didn't get the cue ball where he needed it, and this is going to prove costly. It's going to prove very costly, I think. Neither player has a ball. We are in game number 2. This is a race to 3. I am your host, Scott Frost, aka The Freezer. Lee Vann playing for 8. The 8-6 combination looks real nice. But what do you go to after that? You can come up for the 2, carry an angle to go into the 7, or to drop down. But you kind of got to move something over there. Yeah, I like carrying an angle on the 2. You can drop down to the 15. This looks good. If he gets the proper angle, he can roll forward and just nudge the 7 and lay nice on the 12. All depends on the angle he feels he's got. Okay, he went through the balls with a little more pace. He's turned out with a nice angle on the 10. Corteza playing for 5. I believe he can either go through the 12 and get on the 7, or just nudge the 7 out of the way. He's looking at the 15 now. I think it's a little steep. He could hit this 10 with a force follow with a high ball, maybe a touch of right, come out towards the center of the table. He's got to hit it, though. It's decelerated right there. Let up on the stroke. Yeah, I think he's got to look at the 4. You're on a good run here. You don't want to stop now. It carries position. Yeah, I can't fault him for banking at this ball. The 13 plays. No, and he's hit it sweet. He's hit it real sweet. He's playing for 3. He's got a little work left to do, right? He's got that kind of low angle on the 13. He's a little flat, but if he goes into the 8, I think the 8 splits away from him. Does he shoot the 7 first and come back? I like this. I think this is the right shot for Lee Vann. Yeah, and he's done well. Drop down to the 15 here. Lee Vann Corteza quickly going to take game number 2. It looks. Five goes as well. Either or. And he does take game number 2. And this event is hosted by these great sponsors: Diamond Billiard Products, Ian Simonis with Simonis Cloth, Aramith Billiard Balls, Outsville AccuRack, AccuStats Video Productions, and Masters Chalk. The best in the business right there, folks. The best in the business. Thank you so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you. Corteza quickly taking this lead. Do us a favor, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, Railbirds TV on YouTube. Don't forget us. Thank you so much. And I am your host, Scott Frost, aka The Freezer. I hope that I'm giving you some decent information with what I've got to work with. I really like how he puts the cue ball out there a little bit further. He gets into the ball really well, and commentator jinx as normal. I did my job. Hopefully, Mieszko gets back in this match and we have something to sweat. Just kidding. Unfortunate scratch there from Corteza. He catches the kiss, and he will go back a ball. And Mieszko, although it have ball in hand, still has his work cut out for him. What I was saying about Corteza's break is he gets a lot into the balls. Notice all the balls that are open. He did catch the kiss that time, but those breaks can be devastating. Just imagine if he doesn't scratch and that cue ball's up there by the rail. It's not pretty. Can you play the carom into the 3, two-railing that stripe nearest the 3? Or is the kiss there? Will that stripe kiss the cue ball out of the way? Yeah, it tells you how good Vann broke the balls. Can he dig into the 6 enough and go into that stripe? I think the 15 it is behind the 4. I don't think so. He's going to have to play the 4. Can he play the 4 into the bottom of the 2 and punch down and up to the rail? Now he's looking at it. This is the shot I was calling earlier. I think he's got to really dig into it to catch that stripe nearest the 4. Here you need to protect against the 6. Okay, he's going into the balls. He didn't like it. I don't hate it. I think it's just fine. He's moved 322 balls to his side of the table. Can Mieszko 2-rail the 11 with a kill stroke with maximum inside English? He's got to get something going his way. He's not really been in control of this match in any way, shape, or form. Early on, he had an opportunity. I think it's pretty steep, but I also think it's doable, especially with his stroke. Use a maximum inside English that kills the 11 off the second rail, and it also helps control the cue ball. It might be a fraction steep, just a fraction. I feel like he can manipulate the angle. Yeah, it is a little steep, noticing the cue ball a little higher than I would want it to be on that shot. But boy, I'd have to take a look at it. Looking to come off the 1 there and come 2 rails in behind the 8 or something like that. See, I think he actually could have 2-railed that to his pocket. He hit that real thick. Didn't do bad, but he really didn't do much to Vann, right? You've got to kill more birds with 1 stone than just 1. Now, Vann has big options. He can bank the 3 between the 4 and 5. if you'd like, and just play the cue ball up in the top corner, and that's where he's headed. He wants to take a look at it. You could bank the 3 towards the 10. This is all cue ball here. Anything that gets well, he punched it versus roll it with speed. Didn't turn out bad. The 5 is in a great position. Now this is where the angle can fool me a little bit. I don't know that Mieszko can see all of the 10 or not. If he can, then he could play the 10 like towards the 6 and just follow down behind the 5 maybe. Okay, he could. Yeah. Didn't get much out of it though. And Vann's got another good shot on the 3 if he wants it. He's not looking up table yet. Can he cut the 5? This angle tells me it's very tough. Or is he just going to try and chop off of it and go behind the balls? Yeah, this is all right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I believe Mieszko's got to go to the 5 here. Good speed. Good speed. He's cut him off from the bank as well on the 3. That's important. Vann could have gone up table there. Yeah, Mieszko's kind of cut him off from everything to get him up table. You go rail first on this 6 and just put him back where he was. Oh no. Yeah, I think you've got to go rail first there. Kind of like a ticky play, right? Rail first and then send the cue ball up towards the chalk. I don't think you could miss the kiss. You were too straight on the 6, and that's what's given Mieszko a shot on this 10. It does bank. Ah, nice hit. He can cut the 15. Where is the cue ball going? Nobody knows. It's definitely going to carry some speed, and it's going into the 2. I think you've just kind of got to let it go, though. You're a heavy favorite to make the 15. You've just kind of got to let it go, I think. Go into the 2 with some speed, and maybe something will jiggle open, and you'll get a good shot. Yeah, I can't fault him here. Yeah, he's hit it a little easier than I expected. Note that if he hits it with more speed, he's gonna get something decent on the 6. Now he's got a tester. If he even wants to shoot it, but I think it does come with a reward. Boy, it's not easy though, especially trailing 2 games to nothing. He's got to elevate a little as well. Makes it tougher to pocket the ball. He's cleanly hit it. Could have turned out a little better for Mieszko. He's got a bank on the 5, but what's next? Note the angle here. Don't think the 1 plays. Does he cross this? Okay, he can cross it. He's going to get it down. Does the 1 play? Could it throw up a little bit? I don't think those balls are frozen. But if you hit it easy to the bottom side of the 14 and just kind of wedge him between the 13 and 8, lay the 1 up to your side, or even if the angle doesn't present itself to do that, then just lay the 1 up with the 7 and wedge him up in between the 13 and 8. I think you can do a lot of damage there. You can see it lays pretty well. Just a nice soft stun. Yeah, definitely think he's got to play the 7 into the 14, lay the 1 up in front of his hole. I didn't think that was on. I felt like that was a little high, and it was a little high. And he's left a return bank for Corteza, who's quickly at the table. So a little lack of inexperience there by Fortunski. Overlooked an opportunity to bury his opponent and change the momentum. And you know Corteza wants to take advantage. Staring down the pipe of at least 5 or 6 balls, if he can get this down. He's hit it low. Looked like he had some body movement as well. Mieszko immediately looking at the 7. He's got a little issue there, and that's the 13. I don't know what type of angle he's got. If he can come off the 7 somehow and dig behind the 13, if he can swerve around the 14 and kick the 13 out, or do you just carom the 13 in off the 7, or do you bank the 7? Yeah, this is tricky. Yeah, I think this is the right play. Nice play by Mieszko. I think Vann does 0-1. He is now even. The bills are paid. Does this bank? Really surprised by the decision. I don't know if he got away with it or not. He may have by just a fraction. Boy, I didn't think you had the angle to come into the back of the 9 that way. Especially on new cloth, I don't think it's going to grab quick enough. Can he kill this? If you can just get it in front of your pocket, even if you got to use the bottom rail, I think it's okay. Once again, just a soft stun with the cue ball. I know he's not used to that shot, being a rotation player. Yeah, in a couple situations where I think he needs to be aggressive, he's been passive, which might be the difference in this match, and he's left a layup cross corner on the 13. Even if it doesn't go, Vann's going to have protection with the 9, 1, and 14. So quite surprising there. Mieszko's wires might be a little bit crossed at the moment. And when you play a lot of 9-ball and all of a sudden you go to one pocket and you don't play a lot of one pocket, sometimes everything just looks blurry, right? You can't think real well, start to get a headache. I think that Vann can just roll this 2 rails, like I said, to the bottom rail and up towards the front of his pocket and just play the cue ball below the 7. The 14 doesn't bank, and then 13 is going to block the 9. I would be surprised at anything else. You can bank the 7 back to your side towards the cue ball where it's at now and just play the cue ball down. But I feel like the 13 is pretty free as far as laying it up. He's elevating. Yeah, okay. I wasn't really talking about playing it to make it. I was talking about laying it up and using those balls as protection. He tried to pocket that bank and use the balls. And Mieszko trying to utilize the 1 there, the bottom of the 1. I can't fault him. If it does clip the 1 and go in, he's off to the races. But, geez, with a 4-0 ball lead, slightly risky, very low percentage. Now, this angle could be fooling me, but I could highly consider just rolling to the 7. Roll the 7 to your side. Play the cue ball to the rail. Yeah, and he was probably snookered from the 7, and that's why I didn't play it. Mieszko going to be on the defense for the next inning or 2. Maybe more. I do like the fact that he cut Vann off from everything up table, but I don't think Vann would have gone that direction anyway. Note the 12 and 7. Is he looking to go through the 14 and leave him somewhere kind of out in no man's land, utilizing the 1 as protection on the 9? You can move the 9. There's nothing wrong with it. You're leading 4 balls to 0. You're in complete control. These balls don't favor really anybody after moving the 9. They favor you, if anything. Just send the 9 up table. Don't try and get too cute. Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't, I don't think it's any more effective than just playing the cue ball to the bottom rail and putting the 9 where it's at. Because now Mieszko's going to do this. So, in mid-game 3, it looks like these balls might go up table, or they are going up table. Probably come off the 14 here, play the 14 into the 7, and really focus on your cue ball. Get it to the rail. I don't know what he is looking at. I've got a little chuckle because I don't Let's see if it's available. I know he needs to get back in the game. I just don't think that there's a two-railer available. I think the four's got him covered. I think he's just got to go up table with the 14. Yeah. Yeah, that's really all I could do there. Cue ball was a big factor. If he gets that cue ball froze to the rail, makes life tough on Mieszko. It's a big game for Mieszko. I don't mind him rolling to the 2. Could leave a little something on the 7. If you can go through the 2 a little bit, it's okay. Otherwise, play the 9 into the 8. Send him up table with your 4-0 ball lead. Play your cue ball. Can leave and bank at this 7 and just come into the back of the 12 to control the cue ball. It's not easy. It's off angle. But he is behind in this game, so he wants to be aggressive. Oh, he's hit a real nice speed. I don't believe he's pocketed the ball, but the speed is great. Yeah, he's left Mieszko faced with probably trying to pocket the 7 and remove the 9, or try and remove them both. I think with the cue ball being so close to the 9, it's going to be tough to get a ton of speed on the 9. He can cue it quite well, though. He might rip both of these. Yeah, I was wondering if that played. Nice control there. Really nice control. I don't think Lee Vann can do anything but two-rail this out. Neither one of these guys, and I'm not picking on them, have been real focused on the cue ball, right? They're more focused on the object ball, and sometimes you have matches, you just have matches like that. I thought he could two-rail that out. Maybe the angle's fooling me, and that's very, very, very possible. Now you definitely, I think, want to go to the 2 ball here. Or is he able to see the 14? Okay, nice. He could see the 14. I didn't know. Now he's using the 1 and 2. Yeah, you're good. Made great contact. Lee Vann digging himself into a little bit of a hole here. Is there anything on the 3? Can you two-rail the 3 and double up Mieszko? I don't know what good that's going to do him, though. I think Mieszko can just clip off the bottom of this 2 and stick him right back on it. Make life very difficult for Lee Vann. He's underhit it a bit. You really want to glue him to that ball. I think he's done the job. He's going to the 11 now, looking for the double up. Yeah, Mieszko gonna go to the blue 2 now, if he is doubled up. He's playing to make this ball. How clean did he strike it? Mieszko Fortunski playing for 3 and to get back in this match because it's only a race to 3. Making sure that he needs 3, and he does. It's good to be aware of the ball count at all times playing this game. It's very important. Doesn't want to get flat here. He has. So now he might have to force follow this if the draw angle is no good. Below the 11 and out. And this has caused him to miss the ball. Does Lee Vann take a look at the 3 here? Can he shorten the cue ball up to send it over? I don't know. But the reward is big if you can knock it down. He's looking at it. The cross here is okay, but where are you playing the cue ball? Can you play it 3 to 4 rails up behind the 14? Well, he can, and he is. Look at this with position. He's gotten perfect on the 12, and this is simply from a careless error from Fortunski. What a big opportunity for Lee Vann to close this match out. He needs 6. I see 4 or 5. Can he get on the 14 now? It's okay. It's not terrible. He can go to the 8. He doesn't have the greatest. Is he straight enough? To me, it looks like he's got a little bit the off angle on the 8. If he can just stop, he should be okay. Is he drawing this ball? Yeah, he's stopping. It's a good angle. He's just got to pocket the ball. He knows what's at stake on this shot. It does carry position. He's knocked it down, and he has got to the 4. And he's gotten to the pro side of the 4, meaning that he can tuck behind the 14 now. Mieszko might be a little sick at the moment. He was within 2 balls and pretty much dead straight in to winning this game. Corteza now playing for 2. And just like that, this game is flip-flopped. Depending on how this lays, I think you've just got to go forward and take the bank. Even if it's a cross, just come forward a little bit. Yeah, just a little. You can control the cross bank sometimes a lot easier as far as the speed's concerned than some type of a straight back. Don't want to go too far. I think he's okay there. He can hit a heavy ball with a little outside English. Straightens the 3 out. He's playing for 1. And to steal this game and the match, Fortunski will be eliminated if this ball drops. He's hit it real nice. Does it have the pace? Does it have the pace? It does have the pace. Vann Corteza steals game number 3 with a huge ball lead by Fortunski. I am your host, Scott Frost. Corteza advances. Fortunski is out, and so am I. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you soon.